I was 7,000 miles away, in the middle of the Afghan desert, when my phone finally got one bar of signal, one new email, subject line, closing documents, 418 Oakwood Drive, my house, our house, the one we bought right after our wedding. Attachment, signed contract, closing date, 2 weeks from today. Buyer, some LLC I'd never heard of. Seller's signature. My wife, Emily. Less than greater than I had been deployed for 9 months. No leave, no contact, just sand, gunfire, and letters from home that stopped coming 6 weeks ago. I called her on satellite phone. It rang twice. "Hey, baby, everything okay?" I didn't scream. I didn't curse. I just asked one question. "Why are you selling our house?" Less than greater than she laughed. Actually laughed. "Oh, that. Don't worry, honey. Mark says it's just temporary. We're upgrading. He found us a place on the beach. You'll love it when you get back." Mark. My best friend since kindergarten. The guy who held my daughter the day she was born. The guy who promised to look after my family while I was gone. I hung up. Then I opened my banking app. 9 months of deployment pay, hazard bonuses, every penny saved, $187,000. I made one phone call to a real estate investment firm in my hometown. Buy every single house on Oakwood Drive, I don't care the price, cash offers, close in 14 days or less. They thought I was crazy. I wasn't. I was just getting started. Less than greater than this is the exact moment a deployed soldier with nothing left to lose decided to buy an entire neighborhood just to watch his cheating wife and best friend lose everything they thought they stole. You're not ready for what I did when I came home. Day 1 after the call, I was still in Afghanistan, 12 time zones away, but my money was already working 24/7. I wired $2.4 million cash to the real estate investment firm. Instructions were simple. Make every homeowner on Oakwood Drive an offer they cannot refuse. Cash. 30-day close max. I don't want 9 houses. I want all 11, including 418, the one my wife just put under contract. Less than greater than they started at 8 a.m. local time. By noon, 3 neighbors had already signed. By 6 p.m., 7. The offers were 30 to 60% above market value. People were crying on the phone. Retirees, young families, everyone. Cash in 14 days? They thought Christmas came early. Meanwhile, Emily and Mark were celebrating. I still had access to our shared iCloud. She never changed the password. Photos started popping up. Emily in a brand new Range Rover. Caption: New beginnings. Mark and Emily at the country club. Caption: Future Mr. and Mrs. Emily trying on wedding dresses. Date stamped 3 weeks from then. They had no idea the street they were about to move from was quietly becoming my property, house by house. Less than greater than day 4. The investment firm called me on satellite phone. Sir, we have 10 out of 11. Only one left. 418 Oakwood Drive. Your wife's LLC is still under contract. They close in 10 days. I smiled in 120-degree heat. Triple the offer to the seller behind her back. Make it irresistible. Then watch what happens. Day 7. The original seller got cold feet, withdrew from Emily's contract, accepted my cash offer instead. Emily's realtor called her in panic. Deal collapsed. No house. No commission. Emily lost her mind on the phone. I still have the voicemail. How did this happen? We were supposed to close in a week. Mark, do something. Mark tried to buy another house on the street. Every single listing agent told him the same thing. Sorry, sir. The properties have been taken off the market. Cash buyer, whole street. Less than greater than day 12. I boarded the C-17 home, still in uniform, still carrying my rifle case. While in the air over the Atlantic, the last contract was signed. 11 houses, entire street, $9.8 million total, all cash, all mine. Emily and Mark still had no idea who the mysterious buyer was. They would find out in exactly 11 hours, when my boots hit American soil, and I walked down Oakwood Drive with the keys to every single door, including theirs. November 14th, 03:17 a.m. local time. The C-17 touched down at Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst. I walked off the ramp in full desert camo, M4 slung across my chest, 100 pounds of gear on my back, and a manila folder with 11 sets of house keys in my hand. A black Suburban was waiting. Driver, ex-Marine I hired 2 weeks earlier. Mission brief: drive me straight to Oakwood Drive. No stops. Less than greater than. We rolled into the neighborhood at 4:42 a.m. Every porch light was on. Every driveway had a sold cash sign with my company logo. The entire street knew who the new owner was, except 2 people. I got out at 418 Oakwood Drive, my old house. Lights were on inside, music playing, laughter. Mark's Mercedes in the driveway, Emily's new Range Rover beside it. I walked up the front path I used to mow every Sunday, took the spare key from the folder, unlocked the door. Less than greater than. They were in the living room, half drunk, celebrating their new beginning. Emily saw me first. Glass slipped from her hand. Shattered on the hardwood floor, I installed myself. Mark stood up, mouth open, like he was looking at a ghost. I didn't say a word for a full minute, just stood there in uniform, dust still on my boots, keys dangling from my finger. Finally, Emily whispered, "Baby, you're home?" I smiled. The same smile I practiced for 9 months in the desert. "Yeah, I'm home, and this house, along with every house on this street, belongs to me now. Less than greater than Mark tried to speak. Voice cracked like a little boy. Jake, man, this is some kind of joke, right? I pulled out the manila folder, dropped it on the coffee table. 11 D's, all cash, all closed yesterday, including this one. Emily started shaking, tears instant. We were going to surprise you. Mark was helping me upgrade. We were going to tell you. I cut her off. You sold my house while I was fighting for this country. You moved my best friend into my bed. You planned a wedding with money you thought I'd never see. Now, you have exactly 30 days to get out. Every stick of furniture, every picture on the wall, every fake plant you bought. Because on December 14th, this entire street becomes a private military family community for veterans only, and neither of you qualify. Less than greater than Emily fell to her knees. Same spot our daughter took her first steps. Mark just stood there, face white, knowing he'd lost everything. I turned to leave. Emily screamed after me, "Jake, please, we have nowhere to go." I stopped at the door. You wanted a new beginning? Congratulations. You just got evicted by the man you betrayed. Then I walked out, closed the door, locked it behind me. That was just the first hour I was home. December 14th, exactly 30 days after I came home. 6 o'clock sharp. 11 moving trucks rolled down Oakwood Drive in perfect formation, military precision. Every truck had the new logo stenciled on the side, Morrison Veterans Housing Initiative. I stood in the middle of the street in dress blues, medals on my chest, American flag patch on my shoulder. The entire neighborhood was already outside watching, some filming on phones, some crying, all of them veterans or military families who'd been selected to live rent-free for life. Less than greater than 418 Oakwood Drive. Mark's Mercedes was packed to the roof. Emily's Range Rover had a flat tire. Someone let the air out overnight. They came out the front door carrying boxes and froze when they saw me. Emily was 8 months pregnant. Mark looked like he'd aged 10 years. I didn't move, just spoke loud enough for the whole street to hear. Good morning. You have until 12 noon to be off my property. After that, anything left behind becomes donation to wounded warriors. Less than greater than Emily dropped the box in her arms. Baby clothes spilled everywhere. She waddled toward me as fast as she could. Jake, please, we have nowhere to go. The baby is due any day. I made a mistake. I'll leave Mark. I'll do anything. Please. I looked at her for 10 full seconds. No emotion. Then I reached into my pocket and pulled out a single key. The key to 418 Oakwood Drive. I held it up so the whole street could see. This key used to open the home I built for my family. Today it opens the home of Sergeant First Class Michael Rodriguez, who lost both legs in Fallujah. His wife and 3 kids move in at 1400 hours. You have 4 hours. Less than greater than Mark finally spoke. Voice shaking. Jake, man, we've known each other since we were 5. This is too far. I stepped closer. Close enough he could smell the desert still on my uniform. You slept with my wife while I was getting shot at. You sold my house while I was clearing IEDs. You planned a future with money you thought I'd never have. You went too far first. Less than greater than Emily fell to her knees again, right there in the driveway, sobbing so hard she couldn't breathe. Neighbors were filming, some were cheering. I turned to the moving crew. Start with the master bedroom. They marched in. 10 minutes later, they carried out the king-size bed Mark and Emily had been sleeping in. 20 minutes later, the nursery furniture Emily had just finished decorating. By 11:47 a.m., the house was empty. Mark tried one last time. I'll pay you rent. Anything. Just let us stay until the baby is born. I looked at him. You couldn't afford it. Rent is 1 deployment per bedroom. You never served. Less than greater than. At 11:59 a.m., they drove away. Emily crying in the passenger seat of a U-Haul. Mark staring straight ahead. They moved into a 1-bedroom apartment above a pawn shop. $1,100 a month. The baby was born 3 days later in the county hospital. I sent flowers again. Card read, "Congratulations on the new addition. Some streets are for heroes only. Sergeant J. Morrison. Rhett." That was 4 years ago. Today, every house on Oakwood Drive is home to a military family, rent-free, for life. And every year on December 14th, we have a block party with fireworks and a 21-gun salute. Less than greater than. Sometimes karma doesn't knock. Sometimes it rolls in with 11 moving trucks and takes back everything you thought you stole. Chapter 5. Where they are now. 4 years later. Mark and Emily still live in that 1-bedroom above the pawn shop. He works security at a mall. She's a part-time medical assistant. They never got married. The kid calls Mark Dad, but has my last name on the birth certificate. Long story. Every December 14th, they get the same delivery. A framed photo of the block party on Oakwood Drive. All the families, all the kids, all the flags. With a handwritten note, "Some streets are forever closed to traitors. Enjoy the view from the outside." The Morrison family. Less than greater. Then Chapter 6. My life today. I'm 38 now. Net worth just crossed 9 figures. I own 4 veteran housing communities across the country, all rent-free, all named after fallen brothers. I married Sergeant Rodriguez's sister, Isabella. Best trauma nurse I ever worked with. We have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. They grow up on Oakwood Drive, in the same bedroom their mother once tried to sell. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the flag being raised in the front yard. Every night I fall asleep knowing 47 families live because of what I built, and 2 people lost everything because of what they did. Less than greater than Chapter 7. The final message. So if you're watching this right now, and someone betrayed you, left you, sold you out, counted you out, remember one thing. The same hands that once held a rifle in the desert can one day hold an entire neighborhood. The same heart they broke can one day build homes for heroes. And the same street they tried to take from you can become the place where their names are never spoken again. Revenge isn't about destroying them. It's about becoming so undeniable that their regret becomes the soundtrack of your victory. Thank you for staying until the very end of this 55-minute story. If this hit you, do 3 things. 1. Drop your own betrayal or comeback story below. The best ones become tomorrow's videos. 2. Hit subscribe and the bell. Tomorrow at 19:30 Moscow time, another hour-long revenge story. This time, the cheater loses $14 million in one phone call. 3. Share this video with one person who needs to hear it today. Because sometimes, the best revenge is simply coming home and taking back everything they thought they stole. This is Sergeant Jake Morrison, signing off. See you tomorrow.